Okay, hi Dr. Holbrook. So today I will be dissecting a sheep brain for you. I really hope that this is in frame. I had to set, okay, I think it is. Anyways, I had to set up like a tripod. I know that's not important, but anyways, you can see that the sheep brain is a lot smaller in size than the human brain. I'm quite surprised that it's this small, but anyways, you can see that the sheep brain is more elongated. So this is because since it's a four-legged animal, the brain is kind of elongated and is more posterior, whereas in the human brain, the cerebellum and the brainstem would have been more inferior. So I can't really pull down on it, but this, I don't want to tear it, but it would have been more beneath. Since humans are bipedal and their spine goes up and down instead of like horizontally. The sheep brain has four major regions: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the brainstem, and the diencephalon, which you cannot see without making a cut. I have made a cut, but I just want to show you this first before I separate the two hemispheres. The superior brain, or the superior view of the brain, which is just kind of looking at it from the top, shows you the cerebrum. Oh gosh. And on the surface, you can see these types of ridges or grooves, sort of the ups and downs of on the surface. And so the ridges are called the gyri, and the shallow grooves are called the sulci. So I hope I pronounced that right, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is pronounced. And then the deepest grooves are called fissures. So you can see, even before you make a cut, you can see a longitudinal fissure right here, separating the cerebrum into the left and right cerebral hemispheres. And additionally, there's another fissure right here separating the frontal lobe and the parietal lobe. So the cerebrum is divided into lobes. The left and the right frontal lobe, the left and the right parietal lobe, the left and the right occipital lobe, oh god, sorry, and then the left and the right temporal lobe. So, the cerebellum also has left and right parts, which are connected by worm-like structures called the vermis. So you can see the cerebellum right here, and then these, here is the left and the right part. And you can see these sort of worm-like structures right here. I wish I didn't have this glove on, but you can see these sort of horizontal lines going across, and those are the vermis. So now, continuing, if you look at the inferior view of the brainstem, which is right here, this is the inferior view. It has three parts. So first part is the spinal cord, and as you're going up or anteriorly from the spinal cord, the first bump that you feel is the medulla oblongata. And then the second bump that you feel is the pons. So the most superior part of the brainstem is the mesencephalon, right here. And that's right here. So yeah, there's three major parts: the spinal cord, medulla oblongata, and then the pons, and then the mesencephalon. So the next structure, as you continue moving anteriorly up, is this optic chiasm. So your optic nerves are actually, it's like a cross-like structure. So imagine your optic nerves right here going to your eyes, and then they meet here in this cross-shaped structure, which forms the optic chiasm. Additionally, if you see this right by the optic chiasm, this little hole right here is the infundibulum, which means the stalk of the pituitary gland. So when they were cutting off the dura mater, this also got taken off. But normally the pituitary gland would have been hanging down. So that's where the pituitary gland would have been attached. So now you can see I have my two parts after doing a mid-sagittal cut or dissection. And so now we're gonna look at, I'll just use this to point. Ew, I'm sorry, I did not realize how disgusting this was. Okay, anyways, hope you don't mind. This bundle of white matter, which is also known as the corpus callosum, and this is the only connection between the left and the right hemispheres, so you can see it on both sides, and that's where connections are made, right there. That's the only connection between the two halves of the brain. So that's kind of cool. So there you go. This is the corpus callosum. So you can see that the corpus callosum makes sort of a loop-like structure, and so the top is the corpus callosum, and then the floor or like bottom of it is the fornix. And the corpus callosum and the fornix enclose a space that is covered by a very thin membrane, and you can see, you can see this membrane, like. Okay, well, it's enclosing a space. Oh, okay, I got it. Sorry you had to see that moment of confusion. So it's enclosing this very small space right here. Okay, I realized I forgot to say that this space right here that I just figured out how to open is called the lateral ventricle, and you can actually see that it's a pretty good size. Like, I hope you can see in there. It's, yeah, just covered by that small membrane or thin membrane. So next, below the fornix, you can see this sort of circular, like egg-like structure right here, and that is the thalamus. So the thalamus is a part of the diencephalon, and the diencephalon has three parts. The thalamus, the epithalamus, and the hypothalamus. So right above the thalamus is the epithalamus, and this epithalamus houses a really important part, which is the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is the gland that makes the hormone melatonin. So this very thin layer right here above the thalamus is the epithalamus, and that is the pineal gland. So below the thalamus is the hypothalamus right here, and it's important in the autonomic nervous center. So this structure is a part of the optic chiasm. So you can see that right here, and that's the hypothalamus and then the optic chiasm. So you see, if you put them together right there, it forms that optic chiasm I showed earlier, where the optic nerves will branch out from that cross-like structure. Additionally, right by the optic chiasm, there's the mammary body right here, and the stuff in between is the hypothalamus. So you can see that around the thalamus there's a third ventricle right here. So similar to the lateral ventricle, they both contain cerebrospinal fluid, which is made by the choroid plexus. I think I may have cut that. It's supposed to be somewhere right here. And then it goes, the cerebrospinal fluid goes here, and down this cerebral aqueduct right here. So the CSF, or the cerebrospinal fluid, would go down this aqueduct and go into the fourth ventricle right here. So that's the connection between the third and fourth ventricle, is this aqueduct right here. Like that, I'm kind of tracing it, and then that is the fourth ventricle. And then it would continue going down into the central canal of the spinal cord. So now we are back to the cerebellum right here, and you can see this sort of dark and light matter. So the light matter is the white matter, and the dark matter is the gray matter. And you can see it sort of has a tree-like structure, or the white matter does. You can see that. It's actually really cool to look at up close. Thank you so much, Dr. Holbrook, for watching my brain dissection. Bye. Also, thank you so much for this really amazing class. I'm gonna miss having you as a teacher, and have a great rest of your summer.